Oh, what's up, guys and gals? Yeah, where'd he go? Winner today. Not that that's any great damn prize, but hey, what the heck? Everything sounding good, looking good? I'm going to give it a couple minutes. We're the only ones in here, I think. That's if you're still here. I don't know. I put it out late. I put it out 20 minutes ago. There's 3 people just popped in. So we'll give it another minute and then we'll get rolling here. Got some cool stuff. A lot of stuff pertaining to AKs tonight. Matter of fact, hopefully I'm going to try to keep it all AKs. So we shall see. Oh, I was wondering why it was so dark down here. I lost some light. Let me see if I can get a little more light on the subject. Hold on. I don't know if that helped, but whatever. Good enough. Let's see. Chase, Joe would be in here if he saw it. But we'll give it 2 more minutes. So how's things going, Chase? Everything good? What a crazy weekend around here. With little to no shooting, but got some videos done. So that's a good thing. You'll see a good one after this. Anyhow, we'll get moving, I guess. I spent the last, Saturday, Sunday evening, Monday evening, and part of today looking for a certain thing that is very near and dear to me and my firearm collection. And I couldn't find it. It was lost. I tore apart my gun room. I tore apart everywhere I hide things, couch cushions, garage, shop, work, cars, you name it. I went through it and couldn't find it. And I was beside myself because it was a lot of money. And it was this, my OD Green Circle 10 mag. And I finally found it. Unbelievable. Took a big weight off my mind, but we must have had company coming over and it was laying out somewhere and I threw it in a dining room drawer. Anyhow, I found it. Jesus, there's nobody in here. Not that you're not an audience, but man, oh man, thought I'd get a couple people, but who knows? Weird stuff was going on. It wouldn't allow me to log in and all kinds of stuff. I mean, I hate to just start talking without anybody else, so maybe we'll give it a couple minutes. Give me a time to catch my breath. Anyways, I was running. Just got back from local gun shop. Well, a big box store. Wisconsin, we've got these Fleet Farms, and I've been there every week for 3 times a week, sometimes more, every week since right before the pandemic. And they've been out of primers. They've had some bullets. They had some powder at the very beginning. There hasn't been any powder. They've had 0 primers. And tonight, my wife asked me to stop and get one of those racks that once you split your firewood, you put it in these racks, these metal racks for outside the door or whatever. She said, why don't you stop at Fleet Farm and get one? I thought, oh, funny. A little does she know I'm stopping there anyways. But so I stop and I pick up a few things and I'm casually, I'll go down the reloading aisle and check it out, not expecting anything. I've been there, 3 times in the last 7 days. And I look and there's boxes in the locked primer case. And I'm like, holy crap. So I get up there and put my glasses on. I'm looking, I'm like, military small rifle. I'm looking for small pistol because I got a lot of small rifle, but I'll take anything. And so they had large rifle, but they were all Magnum. They had 2 huge boxes. I think there were 5,000 rounds each or primers each, and then the small boxes. So I ended up, what a score. 2 of the military small rifle primers, 2,000, enough to load 2,000 rounds. I just gotten some of these on Midway USA too, and they had a ton of them there. I might go back tomorrow, and if they still got some, I'll get another 2,000. Expensive. That used to be as little as 5 years ago at my reloading shop, a great reloading shop in Wisconsin called Recob's Target Shop. It's all reloading, and they are the distributor for the whole area. They distribute all the Winchester products exclusively for like the 5-state area, all the trap targets and everything. And I go right there. I'm friends with the owners because we did business with them from my factory. Again, I did the pallets for Winchester. And so anyhow, and I'd pick up the manager to manage my plant for me. He owned a gun club in northern Wisconsin. And if I was delivering pallets down that way, I would stop in and pick up his, literally a semi-truck load of clay birds and bring them back up so he didn't have to pay freight. And I'd pick up all my reloading stuff. And it was nice. So anyhow, where was I going with this? Anyhow, great place, and nobody's got anything. It's unreal. But back then, I used to pay $2.20, $2.50 a sleeve for 100 primers, or $22.50 to $25 for 1,000 primers. And these were $79 for 1,000. That's as cheap as I've seen them anywhere. They're the CCI military for 5.56 ammunition, small rifle military primers. They're just a little harder. So you ever shooting your AR or even an AK for that matter, and maybe you don't fire the last round, you eject it out of the chamber, and you look and there's a little dent in the primer, and you think, oh my God, well, that's normal, happens all the time. And if you had a firing pin that protruded a little too much or whatever, it could set one off. So these military primers are made harder so it won't happen. So anyways, it was a great thing. My wife sent me there to get something else. I happened to look in the primer cabinet, and for the first time in a year, there they were. I didn't get any Magnum rifle primers. I really don't reload anything Magnum. But funny thing is, I got a video coming out tonight on how to kind of save your steel case for a rainy day. And we're going to talk about reloading 7.62 by 39. So I stopped in there 3 days ago, and lo and behold, what was on the shelf? But bags and bags of 7.62 by 39 Winchester brass. And I bought 300 rounds of it. It was expensive. It was $34 a bag, so $68 100, something like that. I mean, it's hardly worth it at that point. But I figured I wanted to do some stuff for the channel on accuracy anyways. You'll see it all in the video, but I want to talk about it here a little bit in case some of you guys have some questions. If you don't reload and you're at all into guns, you really should. Not necessarily the stuff that's cheap. Well, nothing's cheap anymore, but used to be I never reloaded 223, 5.56. I never reloaded AK ammo, and I never reloaded 9mm because they were so dirt cheap. There was no point to it. Well, now I reload 9 like crazy and 5.56 like crazy. And if you scrounge the range brass at the range, it's free. So that even today, I mean, let's say for 100 rounds, 100 primers is going to cost you $8. The brass is free. You can do 100 rounds on less than a pound of powder, so maybe $20, $25. So 25, 32, and the bullets, depending what you buy, anywhere $10 for bulk AR bullets, $35 100 maybe, and it's easy, guys, and you don't need a ton of equipment. A lot of it you can find at garage sales. You can find it on Craigslist, all kinds of stuff. I can go on Craigslist right now and find a ton of presses. You need a press, a scale, a few other things, and a book. Read about it, watch a few videos, and it's fun. It's cheap. And on a Saturday night, you could reload a couple hundred rounds and go to range Sunday and shoot for a few hours, and it costs you next to nothing. Anyhow, so right when the pandemic started and everybody was going ammo crazy and ammo was starting to get low, I knew from previous times that the reloading components were going to get scarce. So first thing I did, because I didn't have it, I had all the other stuff, but I'm going to show you here. I picked up these 7.62 by 39 dies. Okay, these are RCBS. I'll show them to you real quick for you guys that don't know. For rifles, it's a 2-die set. You screw this one in the press. The little pin under here pushes the old primer out, and it resizes the shell casing to the original size. You got to buy a shell holder that goes in the press that holds the shell. The shell slides into this little notch right here, okay? And it holds it for when the press comes down over it. Once it's sized, and you can reprime right on your presser with a hand primer, and drop powder. And once that's all, you got a primer and powder in it, this seats the bullet. You set it for the right height, and it's really simple. And that's about it. So I had the dies, but I had no brass. I figured I'd make do with some bullets and whatnot. I had primers, and I kind of knew this. There's one thing with AK ammo, okay? All of the space that we buy, whether it be Tula or Brown Bear, Silver Bear, Golden Tiger, Red Army Standard, whatever the case may be, that ammunition, the bullet itself, is sized differently. It's 30 caliber. We call it 30 caliber, right? But here in the States, a 308 bullet or a 30-06 bullet or anything 30 caliber like that, actually, if you measure it with a micrometer, it mics out to 308. Okay. It's a little over 30, 308. Well, on Russian bullets, theirs is all sized to 311. It's a little bit bigger than ours. And all the barrels on AKs, SKSs, etc., are all bored for 311 ammo. You can fire a 308 through it, but it's going to be a hair loose. It actually engages the lands and everything, but it's just not as tight as the 311, and it won't be quite as accurate. Most of the barrels, let's say if you have an AR in 7.62, and let's say Faxon made the barrel or Ballistic Advantage or something like that, those barrels will be 308. So you go to put steel case down them and it's 311. Yes, it'll fire. No, you're not going to blow the gun up, but you're going to have a higher pressure situation than usual. So just be aware of that. If you buy, for instance, I haven't checked it, but I'm pretty damn sure it's 311. I'm 90% sure. So I knew about this because I had read about it when I planned about this a long time ago, but it kind of slipped my mind. And I'm like, well, I'm looking for a bullet that's close, right, in weight, like 123, 22, 25. The only thing that really comes close that I found there on the shelf, it's never been easy to find AK bullets, okay? The only company that makes them in any amount is Hornady. For instance, Nosler doesn't even have them in their book. They don't even give you recipes for the load in their book. So I'm looking, and the first thing I came across, or the closest, was this 30 caliber, 110 grain VMAX bullet, and they're just the flat base. They look like an AK bullet looks like. No bow tail, just a flat base. And I thought, well, they're lighter and they got the polymer tip and everything, you know. And I thought, 110, that might be interesting. Sure enough, there's a load for it. Guess what these things come trucking out of an SKS at? like 3,200 feet per second or 3,600. You can crank them up to 3,600 feet per second out of an SKS or an AK. However, they're 308. So are they going to be that accurate? I don't know. But since it's all I had, look at these beauties. This is the prettiest goddamn AK bullet you'll ever see in your life. I made these last night. Tell me that wouldn't be kick ass out of RPK or something, or I don't know. Anyhow, they got the ballistic tip. These aren't that 110 grain. These are actually 150 grain. Very similar bullet, but there's a recipe for these too. It's Hornady's SST bullet. They got a cantilever, so you can crimp them in. Pushed into the case in the mag from Recoil, but again, 308 caliber. So 123 or 24 grain, flat base bullet in 311. Also, in case you guys are looking and you can't find nothing, you've all heard of Enfields, right? British Enfields 303s. Well, guess what those bullets are? Those are 311 bullets. So if you can find a bullet made for different rounds for the Enfield, you could sub those in. Sometimes you can go online and find somebody that's or companies that have pulled a bunch of old AK ammo apart and are selling the bullets bulk. You can do that. Right now, I checked everywhere. Everybody's sold out. There's also a guy doing Barry's bullets. If you've ever used Barry's bullets, I use them a lot in handguns. They're not a jacketed round. They look like it, but they're just simply plated. It's not a thick jacket. It's a thin coating of copper just to keep arrows from leading. And it's fine in a pistol, right? Because you're not pushing those high speeds. However, he does have a couple rifle bullets, one of which fit the AK and are 312, because on cast or plated bullets, you go up one. So instead of 311, you go to 312. But he's sold out too. And from what he states, they're good up to almost 2,000 feet per second without having the plating peel and without letting up their barrel. And they're dirt cheap because they're not plated. They're just plated. They're not jacketed. So that's really interesting for range ammo. If you could get some used brass, that's got regular primers. And by the way, these take regular large rifle primers, no problem. And if you could get your hands on some used brass and a bunch of those Barry's bullets, you could load AK ammo dirt cheap and load all kinds of cool rounds from subsonic to you name it, to those 110s. Now that you'd need a jacketed round pushing 32, 34, 3,600. I'd really like to see an AK round trucking at those speeds. That'd be awesome. Anyhow, some guys have worked on recipes or loads for the AK with 308 bullets and had some pretty decent success as far as accuracy. And these guys are complaining when the pattern is like paper plate size, like, oh, it's inaccurate, 308's garbage, throw them out. Well, if the 308 will shoot a pie plate, I'm happy with it. What the hell? Yeah, I'd rather have the other ones, but we're going to try them out and see how my recipe does. The other thing, you want to use powders. I don't load 300 blackout, and a lot of the powders that are good for 300 blackout are good for this. I had one made by Accurate, which was 2000. The powder's called 2015. I had a little of that left over, and that's what I'm running in here. So I'll have to come up with blackout powder. I'll have to find some somewhere. But we're just kind of testing them out. I'm going to run them tomorrow. We'll see. I'm going to load up a bunch of stuff tonight. Just different pressures, different loads, couple different bullets here, and I will have it on video and show you. We're going to stuff out. We're going to figure out what's what, and I'm going to figure out a way that you guys can reload this stuff. I don't know how cheap I can get it. Can I get it to where steel case used to be, but we're shooting brass? And it's way more accurate, probably. I don't know. It depends how we get the brass, first of all, because if you got to buy the brass, it's going to be a little bit more money up front. And then there's the thing, too. The AKs are overgassed. Are they going to destroy this brass right out of the gate? I don't know. So we got to, I do have a place that I'll steer you guys to once I talk to them for once fired 7.62 brass. And then if we can get those berries bullets, primers, a little bit of powder. I'm thinking, let's see, for 100, let's say 10, 17, 37. You can do them for $37 a 100, not including the brass. So it's all going to depend on if I can find used brass or you scrounge range brass. $37 a 100. It's not dirt cheap, but maybe prices settle. Who knows? Let's see, 10 bucks. So, no, I'm wrong. 37, 47 bucks a 100. I don't know, 37. Anyhow, I'll figure it out, and hopefully we save you guys some money, or at least give you an option to where you can save the steel case. So when you go plinking or something like that with your buddies, you're not firing your good stuff. And this will be more accurate, I promise you. So anyways, something we got going. So good day. I went to Furman Fleet. For those of you that didn't hear, my wife sent me there to get a rack for some firewood. I'm like, gladly, honey. Little did she know I was heading there anyways for the third time this week. And for the first time in a year, they had primers. And I got them, 2,000 of them. I spent the last 3 days. A lot of you guys weren't in here when I first started. Just Chase. Chase won the race today, Joe. He got you. I had lost my OD Green Circle 10 mag that these things go now over 200 bucks. I couldn't find it. I searched for 4 days. Ta-da. I was heartsick. I love this thing. But that's how I spent the last 4 days. So I got a video coming out tonight on all this reloading. Not showing you how to do it because YouTube will mess with it or demonetize it. I'm just kind of talking about it and the options, just like we're doing now. I put it out there now, so if you guys have some questions on it or reloading in general, we can talk about it. Also, let's get some questions on AKs in general. I'm going to check in on the chat here real quick and see what you guys are doing. So Chase was the first one in here tonight. Congratulations, Chase. You get a congressional pat on the back. And let's see what else is going on. Joe, hey, Rock. Glad to see you. Good to see you too, Joe. No notice. I figured I was getting primers. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Primers came first. Okay. And I got home at 8 o'clock, and at 8:10, I set the notification or at 8 o'clock, I set the notification for 8:20. So I don't know if it got out there or not. You're probably just getting it now. But hey, I'm sorry to tell you, primers come first. I'm just kidding, guys. Let's see. That Wolf steel case I got, I'm a fan of when it's cheap. Oh, yeah. I've been picking up Wolf 223 steel case. Yeah, let's talk about what else they had there. So lots of guns. Everything under the sun is available in pistols, ARs, shotguns. They're loaded up. It used to be onesie twosies in the counter. There's 500 guns there. Everything and anything, and good prices on them. Guns aren't the problem. There's even receivers there now. Mags, all accessories, everything, lower parts kits, handguards, you name it. Reloading, there's 223 bullets, 30 caliber bullets, everything. Just no powder and primers. Now they got some primers. They probably won't last through tomorrow, but it's the first time of the year they had them, and no gunpowder in almost a year there. Now, I picked up an 8-pound can of BLC2 the other day at another reloading shop I go to. I stopped in. I see a pound. I'm like, oh, I'll take that. Give me 2 pounds. He's like, well, I got the 8-pounder. You want that? I'm like, hell yeah, give me that. So I got that. So I've never loaded 223 or anything else. I use that for my 308 for my precision rifle, and I love that powder. Perfectly fine in 5.56 223. So everything pretty much with BLC2, except for pistol, of course, and it's not. It wouldn't be good in AK ammo, but all the other fast cartridges, 308, 5.56, all that, no problem. So, anyways, as far as loaded ammo, they had 12 gauge buckshot for $18 for 20 rounds. They had 10 slugs for 20 bucks, expensive, and offbeat brands. They had a ammo can of Wolf buckshot, 12 gauge buckshot for $125, I believe it was, something like that. I think 500 rounds of buckshot. That was a pretty good deal. 9mm, no matter what brand, they actually had Wolf steel case. They had Federal brass case. They had Norma Blazer aluminum case. No matter what it was between $18.95 and $21.95 a box. And actually, the Wolf steel case was more than Federal brass case, believe it or not. Tons of 40, 380, a lot of personal defense ammo, 10mm, 5.56 23 match, Winchester White Box M80 308, match grade 223. I told you the Wolf steel case 223, American Eagle M193, and they had 480 round ammo cans of M855 green tip. So a lot of ammo, tons of ammo. 224 Valkyrie, a lot of low on hunting loads, but as far as handgun, personal defense, and the military calibers, lots of it. I think that 480 rounds of green tip was about $400, somewhere in there, so a little expensive yet. But yeah, a lot of good. Oh, I got 500 rounds of Remington 22 long rifle, the Remington golden whatever little hollow point, 38 grain. The case is gold, the bullet's gold. I forget what they call them. $37 for 500 rounds. That didn't sound too bad, so I picked one up. That's at a local Fleet Farm here in Wisconsin. That's a big box store, so yeah, there's a lot of good stuff back. Haven't seen many birdshot shotgun loads, and what I have seen has been expensive. Not a lot of brass. As far as brass, I picked up the 7.62 by 39 for the AK. They had 30 carbine. They had a couple oddball other ones. I don't know. That was about it. That seems to be sporadic. But yeah, a lot of stuff there. So that's kind of good. Seeing some stuff, and it's lasting on the shelf. They're not selling out, so people aren't hoarding it. Hopefully we see the prices start to come down a bit, and it'll help everybody out. So the video you're going to see, I tried to get it uploaded before this stream, but I'm going to have to probably be an hour at least after this. I'll do a premiere. I don't know who's up late, but it's kind of fun. Also, we are doing a video on some Zastava accessories for the NPAP. We'll have a video on that and comparing head-to-head the NPAP with the ZPAP, head-to-head. And then we're doing the third chapter in my favorite AKs, which I'll give you, since you're in here, I'll give you a sneak preview. It's going to be Vepers. And let me tell you something. When you see my side folding Vepr FM, you guys are going to drool. The thing is, I got that gun set perfect. I'm not happy with how my fixed stock is set up right now. It's got a Russian wood fixed stock on it that I shaped to fit the wider, thicker receiver. Just not happy with it, and it's got an RPK handguard on it. I don't know. You guys might think it's cool, but we'll see. When you see it in the video, hopefully you like it. But those Veprs are so beautiful. And this thing, wait till you see there's a Bakelite grip on this thing. It's not anything out of the norm other than it's so perfect and so shiny and so dark. It's Russian. It looks like it's brand new, and man, does it look good on that gun with that stock and a Bakelite mag. And yeah, wait till you see it. What a wonderful gun that is. If you guys have never shot a Vepr, treat yourself to it. If you got a friend that has one, ask them to shoot it. It's really, really nice. I'm going to talk about it here because 28 EDU kind of talked about it open on his channel, that there's going to be a get-together shoot in Michigan. I RSVP'd to it that I will be going as long as they'll have me. I don't know if there's a finalized list. They want to know who is coming or who could come. I guess it meant I was invited, but happy to do it. So it's going to be interesting. And if anyone's going, I'll like to talk to you, and I'm going to talk to him and see what if there's anything anybody wants me to bring that they might want to shoot or try out or see or something. So happy to do that too. But that's going to be a ton of fun. I can't wait. And I get to see my daughter there too as well. She's not too far from there. So that's going to be awesome. What else? So we got the Vepr video. We got the Zastava accessory video and the head-to-head shootout between the NPAP and the ZPAP. We got an optic review on the ZPAP. What else? There's something else. I can't remember what the heck it is. It's ready to go and I can't remember. Anyhow, a lot of good stuff. Let's get to the chat here. I'm noticing ammo getting way cheaper local. I found $15.09. Nice. Cheapest I paid is $17.99. Hold on, that will steel case. How are you doing, mate? Rush Hour. How are you doing? My AR will be finished soon. You are on a good subject, and thank you for giving out good info on ammo. Cool. Glad to help. Let's see. Damn, man, looking good. Been thinking of getting an AK after my build. Yeah, you really should. You got a solid AK, solid AR, you're good to go. Hey, Orion here. So started without me, huh? Yeah, well, I tried to hang out as long as I could, but Chase was here early and he was bugging me. He's like, man, I'm in here. You don't need an audience. This is bullshit. Just get talking. Come on. So I started. What can I say? He forced me into it. So yeah, we started without you, but glad to have you here, Mr. Fixer. Oh, I was pissed at YouTube too. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got the thing out late. I was out picking up primers. I know you're jealous, but hey, what can I do? First time I found them. Well, no, I shouldn't say first time. I've had a few others, but I've kept stocked. How's that sound? Evening, folks. Thanks for getting everyone together. Chris Dixie Living. Glad to have you here. I love when you're in here. A lot of you guys. I really appreciate you guys showing up every week. It doesn't seem like we're getting much bigger at all, but maybe if I actually gave notice on time, some more people would show up. Tommy Guns here. That's cool. Thoughts on Arsenal SLR 107 UR on the fence. So back a year or 2 or 3 or 4 ago, when I was buying all my stamped arsenals, I wouldn't have given a second look at a UR. However, damn, what a cool gun. How my tastes have changed. I assume you're talking about the one with the longer barrel that can be chopped and SBR'd later. I believe that's the one. I love my 107s. My one is a Krebs, the others is a fixed stock. They're great guns. They shoot great. Uh, Great gun. Can't complain. The only thing I want, and it's going to be my first candidate, my 107 fixed stock. I'm going to start doing the Cerakoting again professionally. And my first gun I'm going to do is my 107 R. I'm going to do I can't stand the paint on that damn thing. It peeled off the barrel and I can't take it anymore. So I was actually I got to get a few things. I need some new guns, and my sandblaster had gone to crap. Plus, you don't want one that's been used for all kinds of crap. So I was going to pick up a little, not a tabletop model, but one on legs. I almost bought one tonight. And I keep saying I'm going to do it, but one of these days when I got a chance, it's just getting out and getting the equipment. I got to get new guns. I got to get a new separator for my compressor, the new blast cabinet, and I got all my trays still and everything for degreasing. And I'm looking for a little commercial oven. I had a cool, perfect one. It was small, enough to hold a barreled action. It was perfect. And somebody gave me a price on it when I was moving, and I sold it, and I never should have sold it because it's hard to find them cheap. Excuse me. Hard to find them cheap. And that probably sounded wonderful in the microphone, didn't it? I'm sorry. I don't know if it's cold, COVID, or allergies. I don't know. But I got to get an oven. I can start whipping stuff out like crazy. I still have the stencil machine to make our own stencils. I can do tiger stripes, camo, any pattern you want. I've done American flag stuff, distress stuff, whatever you want. But we're going to get that rolling again. There's nothing better than doing just a flat, beautiful, what the hell is the name of the black that I use all the time that they have? Oh, it escapes me right now. But God, nothing like that gorgeous, deep, just charcoal black on there on a fresh gun. Looks so good. I can't wait to do that gun. It's going to look so much better. Let's see. If I get an AK, I'm getting a 5.56 AK, or that Wasser that takes Glock mags. That Wasser that takes Glock mags is not made by Cougar. I don't believe. Be very careful. There's a bunch of stuff out there right now, even some calling itself a Wasser, and it's not made by Cougar. Be very careful. They're made by another company over there that's but it's not Cougar, and I wouldn't buy a Romanian gun that wasn't made by them. I really wouldn't. And there's a difference between, there's a NAC9 and can't remember the name of the other one, but put it this way, if you want to be safe, if it says Cougar, buy it. If it doesn't, don't buy it. How's that sound? Easy way to keep it in my book. Let's see. Tommy Gun. I am in Michigan, but was not allowed to go to 2A shoot. LOL. I asked, though, on his podcast, but no invite. I got 7.62 by 39 Bren 2. Awesome gun. I'd love to have one of those. I think I asked in the other one if I were to get one, what you guys thought, what caliber I should get it in. And that's an interesting gun because I just love CZs. You could run there, but they probably wouldn't allow non-AK. No, not at all. He's fine with non-AK stuff. Are you kidding? He's a huge Taurus fan. Pistols, you should see. He's got a little bit of everything. You'd be shocked. I don't think it's going to be that at all. So I'm not worried about that. But yeah, boy, that'd be cool to shoot. Let's see. Ori and primers equal priority. Yes, they do. I was really hoping they had some small pistol, because I am completely out of small pistol, and I haven't been able to find any, and I just need some. I paid ridiculous money off Gunbroker for 1,000 or 2,000 rounds of it. I'm ashamed to tell you how much I paid for it, but I just wanted it, needed it. So I got it, but I thought I'd come across some. I can't find any to save my life. But I do have 2,000 rounds of primed, cleaned, sized, ready to go brass 9mm. So I can't complain, and some leftover small primers. But I want to break the Scorpions out for a run, and a 2-hour run of Scorpions at the range can be 1,000 rounds like nothing. God, those guns are so much fun. Have one. God, go get a pistol before, yeah, or if you want to get one before something happens and they're not important, or the braces go away or something. Just get one. You will be so happy you did. Don't worry about the naysayers with the blowing them up and all. Guarantee you they're using a binary trigger, or they're bumping them, or something. Something. Guarantee you. Although I will say I had a slight issue with one of mine, and so I won't rule it out 100%, but I think I know what the issue is with them, and it's not a big deal. And your chances of having one go kablooey on you are small, and they'd fix it if it did. And it's not, I don't think you'd be hurt by it. Most of it would go out the bottom. Then again, I'm the man that likes to live the life of danger, so it doesn't bother me much. Let's see. I got to go back because you guys are commenting now and things are going nuts here. Broke down and got that IWI Tavor X95. You are a good influence. How do you like it? You got to love it. If you've never owned a bullpup before, which I hadn't, I read the horror stories about the triggers. And yes, I've tried some out on the rack and they were horrible. Long, mushy, conk, like someone connected it to the back. And that's like how a lot of guys put it. That's how they feel. This one feels great. Used to be guys, they made a trigger for them. They still do. So if you're not happy with the trigger on that X95, they made a replacement for the original Tavor. Now they make one for the X95, but a lot of guys are opting not to do it because the new trigger is so good. Let's see. I bet you're loving that gun. Takes a bit to get used to with that Tavor because that front end's so light, right? You're going to swing it. It's like, whoa, come back here. You can hold it up with one hand on your shoulder really comfortably and hold it all day. Just the way it's balanced. Really cool. Just glad to be here. This is one of my favorite places to hang out on this internet. I hate all this fear crap going on. Joe, stop listening to it. I go through YouTube because I'm in the car every day, 4 hours a day. So I'm a huge Sirius XM fan. And in the morning, I listen to Glenn Beck. I listen to Fox. I listen to Mark Levin, a lot of different stuff. And some of it, not mostly Fox News, was just getting to be such a drag, and I watching it at home and everything else, it gets you down. I haven't watched news, Fox News, or any of it in weeks and weeks and weeks now, and I feel much better for it. I have my opinions about what's going on and where this is going to end up, but they're my opinions, and because I have at least a little bit of a plan, I'm okay with it. I can handle whatever gets thrown at me, I guess. I do have a few little fears, but they're not constantly pounded into my head or over exaggerated or whatever. The right is just as bad as the left at sensationalizing things. So break away from it. I started just on the way to work, put a YouTube blog on or stories. I'm on here learning like you guys. So I listen to stuff. I find out about new stuff. I listen to a lot of 2A stuff. And at least it's something I enjoy. I get something out of it. I was learning a lot about generators and hooking them to the house and all of that stuff and different things. But whatever I'm interested in at the moment, I find some videos on it. I got 2 hours. I kick back and listen, and at least I'm learning something, not having some crap pounded into my skull. So that's been good. Do that. Stay away from the news. All they do is repeat the same old crap, anyways. Did PSA confirm they were manufacturing? Yes, they did. So they're going to be ramping up. They are partnering with a European company that's already in the ammo business, a large company. I don't know who yet. It'd be neat if it was Privy Partisan or something, wouldn't it? But it's going to take a couple years to ramp up, which should coincide with the Form 6s and the current Form 6s and what's left on the importation. That'll be coming in. The steel case will be coming in another year to 2 years, and them starting up should coincide just perfectly with it. And hey, there's one more to fill the gap, and I hope they take the outlook of, hey, we're going to price this stuff cheap and price it to sell right off the bat, and take the market by storm. And I'm sure there'll be others stepping in and other countries stepping in. So it's going to be a transition. It's going to be different. I never thought that Russian steel case was junk ammo ever. Matter of fact, I think it's as good as any, target ammo here, Winchester white box, anything. I'd never been one of those that had problems with hard primers on Tula, or, these didn't fire, these didn't go off. I never had much of those problems. I had one issue with Silver Bear once, and out of I can't tell you, I've broken my back carrying so many 1,000-round cases of that stuff. My UPS guy hates me to this day. I have to send him dinner a couple times a year just for hauling it up the driveway for me. But I promise you, at times I shoot so much that I think, I might have lead poisoning, literally, from breathing. I worry about that. Because it's crazy the amount of ammo I put downrange. And with, we never used to shoot much steel. And now shooting steel, you got to watch which way the wind's blowing, because that stuff vaporizes and you breathe it in. It could be bad news. I worry about it. That's how much I shoot. And I've never I can count probably on one hand the amount of bad rounds. It's just, most of the time it's guns. I don't think it's ammo so much. I've had great experiences with everything Russian, and old, new, every brand. Let's face it, half of it's all made by 2 or 3 companies, just different brands. And it's all been good. I got no complaints. So I think anything new coming to market, it will be at least as good, if not better. And just happy to see it. And I hope the price settles in. The cheapest I ever bought it was about $159 a thousand plus $20 shipping. So about $179 a thousand. 199 a thousand. It was 200 a thousand forever and ever and ever. I never paid much more than that. And I don't expect to see that, but it sure would be nice to see 250, 260 delivered. That I could deal with. 4,000 rounds, $1,000, no problem. I'd like to see it come in there. So that would be really cool to see. I hope so. So yeah, awesome news on PSA. Awesome news. I wanted to mention, if we've got anybody in here watching, or any of you have friends or family that live in Virginia, big election coming up, okay? Governor, all that stuff. You need to either, if it's you or if it's someone else, you have to urge them, if they're Republican, they're on the right, to get out and vote. Get out and vote. This could be major, because they're really pushing it. They know they're in trouble. They're scared. So they're really pushing to get out the vote, and that's the only thing that's going to turn it. So make sure anybody in Virginia gets out and speaks their mind on it. Please make the phone call, get your butt out of bed, go vote, whatever. Very, very, very important. That's what I saw. Let's see. How's the family, Joe? Hope all is well. Yeah, how's your dad? I hope he's doing well. Tommy Gunn, I think it's a shoot for 2A's Patreons and local supporters. Yeah, and I think long time listeners and maybe some other creators, perhaps. This thing ain't focusing again. I hate this camera. Come on. What is the deal? Sometimes it focuses so beautifully, and other times it just decides, not going to do it. Anyhow, let's see. Yeah, if he's okay with us videotaping there, because it's in a private residence, I'll shoot some video and we'll have some good stuff for you. I'm sure he'll be shooting. It's going to be a ton of fun. I've been asking for this, and I offered to host it here in either Wisconsin or even Northern Illinois. I got friends and stuff. Could have done it. Or have him do it. I've been wanting to do it for a long, long time. And just because everybody's such good guys and gals over there, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see. I love AK stuff. I miss my AK. Get one already, Joe. Come on, get one. Rock, I'll get some primers if I can for you and give them to you for what they cost. Absolutely. Small rifle, large rifle, small pistol. I'm all good on large pistol, but small pistol is the real rub right now. That's what's really hard to find. And I look, trust me. Let's see. What do you think of a 6.5 Grendel? I have never been much for the latest and greatest caliber war thing, because what's on the cover of every magazine today is just another cartridge tomorrow. And yeah, I know the 6.5 and the Creedmoor and all this. For a while, man, all you heard was Creedmoor, 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 Creedmoor. You know, every magazine you could pick it up. Never shot one, don't have one. Yeah, I look at the ballistics. Okay, great. You know, I guess, hey, if you had to have one rifle, period, ballistic wise, what game it can take, how overall, I could probably buy a 30-06 and be done, right? It's been around forever and it works great. It'll never go away. It'll make a massive comeback one day. Whatever. It is what it is. You know, yeah, great cartridges. They'll probably stick around. They may at some point completely fade into never land. Who knows? So I don't know. Tempted to buy one, but then it's another cartridge to reload for and all that crap. I don't know. Not saying it's bad, just never been into chasing the caliber thing. They don't make you any more accurate, anything. Just it's another one to shoot. And you can, you know, everybody at the range is talking. And of course, there's one local expert, right? Everyone knows him. And you show up at the range and there he is. What are you shooting there? Oh, 8K, 7.62 or 5.56 or what do you got? What's that rifle? 308. Oh, you ain't got yourself a 6.5? Well, let me tell you about the 6.5. It can knock the asshole out of a gnat at 1,800 yards, you know. Okay, Jesus, go sit down and shut up and shoot something. You ever notice that expert never actually sits down behind the gun, behind the bags and shoots? Because anybody there could wax them. I get a kick out of those guys. Any range you go to, it has all the same characters, just different names. You know, you got the brass scrounger, you got the serious guy, you got the nutcase with his computers and his barometers and his this and his that. You got the mag dump, bump fire guy. You got them all, just different names, different faces, but same characters. And that's okay. That's what makes it fun, right? Let's see. Have you heard of anyone getting fired from their job for not getting the serum, the sheep's milk? Funny story. I will. I'm not going to name names. He probably would. Nah, I can't name names, but I'll tell you the story. So I have a friend. He's actually my friend and my brother's friend. Probably more so my brother's because they were the same age. But I've known him since kindergarten. We grew up together on the same block. We went to grammar school together, high school together, have remained friends, lived together after college. We're at each other's weddings, children's births. We still hang out, watch football games. And over the years, he became a pilot for a well-known large airline, U.S. airline. And it's actually surprising how right-leaning he is, because my brother is very middle to left. And he's opinionated on his end like I'm opinionated on my end. And just because of the business they're in and other stuff, I thought he'd be a lot more liberal. But he's a staunch conservative. And he called me out of the blue one day. I'm driving to work, and he says, just because of people I know in the industry that gives you the sheep's milk, he calls me. He says, "Hey, do you know how I can get a card, whatever, you know?" And being a close friend, I said, "Well, I might be able to steer you towards someone, you know, this and that." And I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, they're planning on this thing, and it's going to be I do it or I got to quit or get fired or whatever." And he hasn't yet. And they've seemed to have backed off now because of some of these pilots not coming into work, not showing up. I do know people in healthcare that have gotten it because they had to, didn't want to, but had to. They had to keep supporting their family. Everyone I know is in healthcare, including my wife, my daughters, my mother was, everybody. So aunts, cousins, you name it, at all levels, from doctors down to CNAs, to RNs, to BSNs, to PAs, you name it. But haven't seen anyone fired yet. And I don't think the police governor, Pritzker, which is the ginormous governor from down south here and down in Illinois, and I guess he was threatening to bring in the National Guard if the police weren't going to get their shots and walk out. And that's a scary thought, isn't it? He can't do it, obviously. You can't take National Guard and make them perform police duties. Yes, I guess in general maybe, but first of all, it's illegal. Second of all, it's impractical. It would never work out, and it's just a threat. You know, more comments from the peanut gallery kind of thing. You know, but yeah, it's amazing. You got to have your line in the sand, guys. You got to know where you draw it, and you got to know in your heart of hearts that you're going to stick to it, that you're not going to back down no matter what. I've made, I don't want to use the term peace with myself, but I've made a decision in my heart of hearts that there's a couple things that they're my line. And I'm not going to go back on that line. I'm not going to back up from that line. I'm going to hold that line no matter what. And that's that. And I think that's how most Americans are. I don't think we're Australia. I don't think we're Canada. I think we're different. I truly believe that. You know, while Australia may have been a penal colony, they didn't fight a war of for their freedom. Canada is still, you know, pays homage to a queen or a king at times or whatever. They still do. So, you know, they're kind of born into that. They never ever stood up for their freedom that I know of. I mean, yeah, they fought in World War II to hold off a tyrant, but not like America, not like this country. I think it's inherent in us. I do see the pendulum switch starting to fall the other way. You know, the pendulum swings and it comes to our side for a while, and it's rising, 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 and then it starts to fall. And it's okay, and it gets to about here, and holy cow, oh my God, it's getting terrible. Holy cow, I can't take it anymore, and nobody can take it anymore. And then boom, it starts swinging the other way. I can feel it swinging back. All the stuff going on with the former vice president. Uh, People are, I think, I'm glad they're doing what they're doing. And I hope they keep pushing it because I think it's doing exactly what I want it to do. It's driving everyone the other way because even those that were supporters, those that may have backed the ideals at a certain level, or were in the middle and were okay for a while, the worse they got, they're no longer okay. They're not okay with it anymore. They're like, this is crazy shit. This is completely insane. Where's my country? What's going on with my children? What's this world coming to? Why is my check not going anywhere? Why can't I afford groceries? I need a car and can't get one. Whatever the case may be, they're like, man, that Trump, he said some stuff, but he wouldn't be so bad right now. I just got a feeling that's going on. And I think you'll start seeing the swing. I'm not saying it won't get worse before it gets a little better, but we're starting to see signs. You're starting to see people in the entertainment industry, music, sports that are starting to talk out against it. And that doesn't start, that's why their stuff was kind of not real because it wasn't culture driven. It was bullshit driven. And the stuff we're seeing now is because of the culture we're seeing. There was a rapper put out a thing that they've taken down on here. That other star, that girl, speaking out. There's a basketball player speaking out from Turkey. All kinds of stuff, and it's playing well with a lot of people with a lot of different thoughts and backgrounds. So it's good to see. I'm glad to see it. I renews my faith in people. Hold your lines, guys. If anything, hold your line to teach your children that so they know what to do when it happens to them. There was a great saying I heard the other day, and I wish I could remember it. It was something like, believe anything, but I don't know. But I'll come up with it. But if anything, I have to hold my principles. I have to, so my children see that, hey, maybe you don't agree with me, maybe I don't agree with you, but I stand for my principles. You have to stand for something. Stand for something. Grow a set and stand for something, whatever it may be, whether you're right or wrong. It always seems that the ones that seemed wrong to everyone were the ones that became the heroes, doesn't it? The ones that stood against the norm or the current flow or moved against the tide are the ones that saved the day, the ones that they still talk about, right? And the followers, the ones that went along with it, you don't hear much about them, do you? So stand for something. Teach your children how to stand for something. They need to hear that. They need to hear that, and they need to see you do it. Teach them how it's done. Show them how it's done. Let's see. Back to the comments. Sorry, I got to back up a little here, guys. Steel case ammo rocks. I love it. Yes, I do too. New York City has started firing people. Oh, a lot of people have started firing people. No doubt about it. Red Army Standard 400 for 1,000. Yeah, AK steel case is all about 400, 1,000 right now. I am not buying right now because doing some other things, but I think we're going to see it drop a little bit. And if it doesn't, I'll start buying again, but hopefully it does. 380, 360, whatever, a little bit. We're just waiting for a little move. My company will start firing people by December 8th. I take it's a publicly held company or a state county job, perhaps, or healthcare. Don't take the shot and don't be afraid to find other work. Nope. I'd make do one way or another. I promise you that. But I will not. Here, it's one thing. If it's come to me with the choice and say, here's the deal. Here's the facts. Make your choice. I'm good with that. I'll make. Maybe I would choose it. But you're not going to tell me, and you're not going to shove it down my throat. Not happening. I'm a fairly intelligent individual. I've got a fairly good education. I think I can understand facts. I think I have a lot of common sense. And I can read, and I can read between the lines. And I can look at a report and I can decipher data. And right now, no thanks. I think it depends too on a lot of things, age group, health, all kinds of stuff. And if people want to, God bless them. That's what this country's all about: making choices, not being forced into something. Make a choice. Nobody's going to pound you for making a choice. Just don't put that choice on somebody else. Sounds like he hangs out with the brass snarf. Southwest backed down on their mandate. Yes, they did, because some pilots stood their ground. That's why. And it's a breath of fresh air. I wish more people would do it. Stand your ground, guys, gals. I have no faith in the medical field now. I view them like politicians and police. You got to remember, a lot of them, got the news from the higher ups and they trust their employers. And or they've looked into it and they think it's right. I don't know what to say on that. Most of them won't comment when you talk about it. I know my family members try to avoid it. I mean, we'll talk in our family, but they try to avoid any conversations on it. Hornady backed off on their demand too. Yeah, I couldn't believe that. Yeah, boy, would they have screwed themselves in the market had they done that? My God. And I chat daily to people all over the world. They are literally being starved out in Canada and Australia. Yeah, there's some big protests over there, guys, that they're not showing. Go on some other channels, dig a little deeper, find some Facebook friends over there, and go in and snoop around a little bit. You will be amazed at what you find that's not on any news channels. South America, just some amazing stuff going on they're not talking about. That needs to be known. Let's see. Ashtory, it's good. Whatever people do, as long as staying there doing it, and no one else. Yep. In 2020, both Biden and Harris were stumping against the vaccine. Funny how that changed, isn't it? Isn't it? We all remember. They'll never get it out in time, and unless the FDA says so, and all of that. Amazing. I work in a manufacturing plant that is making it mandatory because of the government contracts. Yeah, well, they need to stand up to them too. And it comes down to you guys working. If they don't have workers, guess what they're going to do? Stand up, guys. Everybody go stand outside and don't come in one morning. See how that works for them. I owned and ran a manufacturing plant. I know how it goes. Without those people, everything keeps rolling. Everything keeps rolling. The bills still keep coming in, whether you're making something or not. If I didn't make unit number one, my electric bill was still $5,000 a month. Regardless, my insurance was still crazy astronomical money. Um, everything keeps rolling. They're not going to stop for long, guys, because they can't keep it up that long. Ask me. I can tell you stories. It's got to keep rolling. It's got to keep rolling. They'll come to their senses real quick. Most companies, small for sure, mid-size, most likely, large, maybe hold out a little longer. But the average small manufacturing company, and by that, still probably pretty large in most people's minds, like our plant was, you can't hold out even a few weeks because your money's on the street. It's a big rolling monster that needs to be fed. So yeah, you could shut that one down in a minute if you wanted to. A couple guys with heart could take care of that. Let's see. I've been buying a little 39 every month and every import I can. Awesome. Good job, man. That's all it takes. Buy what you can when you can. That's all. That's all. And you'll be amazed how quick it adds up, right? Absolutely. The Russian ammo will get replaced. Yes, it will. Tommy Guns, I've read that already. Freedom is absolute. We are free, even though we may disagree. We all agree guns rock, and so does freedom in America. Yes, it does. Get everything now. I agree. You can turn worthless currency into something you can hold, whether it's product, whether it's food, whether it's barterable stuff. You can turn worthless paper into something. I don't know. I'm very worried about the dollar right now. And I don't see any safe place to go. I don't even think gold and silver's safe because they control the market price on that. Yes, they do, 100%. With the inflation we're seeing, gold and silver should be through the roof, and they're not going anywhere. And all they have to do is say we're confiscating it, or try. Yes, you can buy things with it. People will take it, but not as easy as you think. Can't pay your bills with it. Can't pay your mortgage with it. Bank ain't going to take it. So it's tough. Stock market. Bonds. Oh, I'll go to bonds. Bonds are safe. No, you dummy. When their bonds are in way more terrible shape, that's what causes the stocks to take a dump. So it's not, go into bonds when stocks are just as scary. There's nowhere to go. Do you do property? Property, physical assets. Think of physical, gold, silver, property. Then they could confiscate it like they did after the Depression. They could declare farmland. The government needs it to raise food for the people. I don't know if it would ever get to that, but it could. I don't know. Let's see. Only ourselves. I have not got was SLR 107 UR, and that's going to change tonight. You're getting one tonight? Are you? Come on, tell us. That's it. And what do you plan on doing with it? Was I right? It's like the Krink with the long barrel, gas block, front sight combo that can be cut. That's a pretty cool gun. I invest in the small arms because they hold value. Yeah, me too. Was going to sell off all my milsurps. Glad I kept my FUD guns. They're not FUD guns. Milsurp guns are not FUD guns. Get that out of your head. Doesn't matter what you got. Enfields, Garands, Mosin Nagants, whatever. Speaking of that, do you guys want to see some videos on Mosins? Yes or no? I feel like doing some Mosin videos. 549 for 1,000 coming soon to Atlantic. Mesco brass. Cool. Waiting on accuracy reviews on that ammo. Barnoul seems to be a good mix. Yes, it is. Good ammo. It's in my basket now. Yes, long barrel, short gas system. Yeah, cool gun. Grab it. Those are going to be worth money one of these days. Tommy Guns, Rockford, see above. Please do a Mosin video. I will. Hey, Rock, found out about your channel recently. First time tuning into live stream. Love the channel and the customizations I made to my NPAP was inspired by yours. The Frontiersman. Well, cool. Yeah, that NPAP has seen a few iterations. If you guys haven't watched the videos on my NPAP, I'll tell you a little story about that gun. So I had my M70 underfolder. I had a Wasser, and I was in the middle of buying. I bought some more expensive guns. I bought a Krebs gun. I was buying the Vepper FMs, and I was buying some milled guns and just higher dollar stuff. And I shoot them. You know, nothing's a safe queen with me, but I don't beat the crap out of them. There's some main guns I shoot. And I wanted a gun that I could set up, that I could fit the gun to me, that worked great, was accurate as hell, and I could put thousands and thousands of rounds through it. And if I shot it out or broke it or scraped it up, at the end of the day, 10 years from now, I wasn't kicking myself in the behind because it was collectible as hell. In essence, I didn't want to do that to like a Vepper. So what gun was I going to do? Well, I wasn't big on Wassers, and I like Yugo rifles, and NPAPs at the time were abundant. They were everywhere. And, parts had kind of caught up with the Yugo guns. You could find aftermarket handguards and stocks and M4 adapters and all that stuff. And I found a good deal on an NPAP, and I tricked it out. And to this day, matter of fact, I took it out of my trunk tonight and brought it in the house. That gun goes everywhere with me, and it can bounce around in my trunk for days. I can drop it. I can bang it into stuff. I can drop it. I can put 1,000 rounds through it. I cannot clean it. I can clean it. It is so easy to just literally throw up on my shoulder and 200 yards, bam, ding, bam, ding. It never needs an adjustment. It's never failed. It just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. And I'm so comfortable with that gun and how it shoots and where it shoots and the holdovers and everything, that while I've got much more quality rifles, and if the stuff hit the proverbial fan, I would be tempted to grab something else. But at the end of the day, I should probably grab that rifle. Great rifle. Those had been around forever, and they kind of hit the skids when Rob Ski did a test on them, and the receiver developed a couple cracks. And then a spring failed on one that put it down real quick, but it really wasn't a failure. I mean, it was, but you could have fixed it on the spot. It wasn't like a rivet came out or the barrel was out of headspace or something. Got to remember, NPAP, OPAP, ZPAP, they are built in a military armory, period. They're built by Zastava, who's been building AKs since the get-go. They don't put out junk. There's no difference between their commercial and military. You get that out of your head. It would cost them way too much money to make different parts for different rifles, or, here, use rejected parts. That's a crock of crap too. The NPAP is and always will be a great rifle. That's why I'm doing the head-to-head video, NPAP versus ZPAP. But my NPAP has been in that, what I call the canoe paddle stock. Before they went to the smaller, what I call, there's the NATO stock, which is the big boat paddle stock. And then what's the other one called? I forget. But that big boat paddle one, it will kick you in your cheek regardless. And a lot of guys say, oh, they don't kick. You don't know what you're talking about. That's because they have the other stock. They don't have that big piece of junk Century put on it when they were importing them. If you have that big stock, you know what I'm talking about. And you get rid of that. You put and Century sold the smaller stock like that comes on the ZPAP now. Those stocks are great. Those are fine. So put one of those on it, or an aftermarket, or an M4 or whatever. And great gun. So that thing has been through, first all the parts added on. It had a camo job on it. It was stripped back. It was put to military wood. It was put to aftermarket stuff. It had red dots and prisms and scopes and you name it. That gun's been set up every which way but loose. And right now its iteration is a 3-power primary arms prism sitting atop an RS Regulate with an M4 definitive arms M4 stock adapter with a Mission First Tactical minimalist stock, a Meridian Defense BD2 muzzle brake. It's got a ALG trigger, an ALG recoil spring, a Magpul grip, K2 grip. What else? It'll run any mag I put in it. These are my favorite mags, by the way. If you can afford them and you want to own one type of mag, this is the mag to own. These are the best, period, bar none. Second to these are Steel Surplus. Third, I would take, what would I take? Probably a Gen 3 PMag with the steel lips. Those would be my top 3 mags. But these are magnificent. It's not to say there's not other good ones out there. These are now, they used to be $40 a piece. Then they were 45, then 50. I can still find them for $45. And anytime I see them, I buy at least one, no matter how many I have, because they're the best, period. Never broke one. Never had one fail. They're fabulous. Let's see. What else we got? So yeah, Frontier Man, thanks for checking out the MPAP videos. I'm glad you liked it. The MPAP, by the way, is the only AK I've ever had to do a major modification to the ALG to make it work. The top hook I had to bring way down because when the carrier came back, it hit it and stopped it dead. Just something about the carrier design. Ground it down a bunch, took a bunch off it. It didn't weaken it in any way. I've got 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 rounds through that trigger. Fabulous. I never had problems with the stock spring either. Matter of fact, I liked it with the stock spring because it was so smooth. The ALG, it takes a lot more force to bring that thing back and all. Just when Rob cracked that receiver or whatever, I thought, maybe it's worth putting in there. But I never have had a problem with any of those. It is a 1mm receiver, and it does have a strange rivet pattern in the back that leaves a tiny bit of steel in between the top cover button and the first rivet. So it could be kind of weak back there, but even if it did crack there, it wouldn't probably do much. It'd probably still run forever. But we're glad to have you here, Frontiersman. Please come back every Tuesday. We do this, a hangout. Sometimes I've got subjects I talk about, go through, teach, learn, whatever. Lately, I've been liking just going through the comments and answering questions and talking about things you guys bring up. So anything you want to hear about, post it in the chat over here. And look at me like a dummy. I'm on top chat instead of live chat. So I'm sorry if I missed some of your comments. M1 Grand is always fun to shoot. Yes, it is. I had mine in my hands yesterday. And every time it's in my hands, I feel like I wish I could close my eyes and it would be like a movie. It started spinning and it took you back to a point in Europe or in the Pacific where you're standing there in uniform at whatever battle or whatever that gun was at. And you could see where it was, who was there, what it did. It just feels like such a battle rifle. It's so big and heavy, but yet good. It just feels good and usable. Um, it feels substantial, and you can feel the history oozing out of it. And what a wonderful, wonderful rifle. Everybody should have one in their collection. And, they started really rocketing upwards, a year or two ago. You can still get them from CMP. There's a few left. A good friend of mine, my son's good friend and friend of mine who's a Marine, currently stationed on the East Coast, and about to be deployed to places we can't mention in the Middle East. Um, he just got 3. He got 1. It wasn't a wartime gun. He sold it. Got 2 from the CMP, both wartime era guns. Kept the nicest one he wanted in the year he wanted. Sold the other one for enough to pay for his whole gun for free, essentially. If you're getting them outside the CMP right now, they'll run you anywhere from 1,000 on the low end to 1,500 for a nice shooter, and even more. But between 1,000 and 1,500, you get a really, really nice rifle. And if you go to CMP, I think you'll probably spend under 1,000. If you can afford 2, get 2, sell the other one, and pay at least for half your rifle, probably. But everybody should have one. Let's see. Getting ready to buy a Zastava M93 Black Arrow. Ooh, somebody's a badass. Alan Bishop. Wow. Check out when I went to the Zastava shoot, check out my video on that. I was just standing there, not resting the gun, just shooting that thing. I was shooting at a 50-inch big screen down in the valley there, and different stuff. I had a 5-gallon jug. I just kept popping it. Boom, blew it up in the air 20 feet, and boom, up in the air 40 feet, and boom, up in the air 60 feet. And don't worry, we were shooting down in a ravine, and the hill behind it went up 20 stories. I mean, so you could get that thing 100 feet in the air. So it was like trap shooting with a rifle, and kept that thing bouncing. What a wonderful gun with the adjustable gas and everything. I really got to contact Zastava. I'd like to do a serious review on that gun and a serious review on the 5.56 gun too. Just got to get the time to call them. They contacted me that time about the shoot. I asked a couple other times, if anybody is in here from Zastava, please shoot me an email. They were super nice guys, and God, I love their guns. Such high quality stuff. Beautiful stuff. Look, if you ever see one in a shop, pick it up. Take a look at the front gas block. Take a look at a couple other components, how nicely finished and milled they are. They're just such nice guns. Let's see. I saw something about Milwaukee. Hattori Hanzo, friend in Milwaukee, picked up I'm in Milwaukee every day. I work in Milwaukee. Picked up a Yugo SKS for $150 at Dunham's in 06. 150 with bayonet, grenade launcher, and already cleaned. He chose wisely. That was probably the Yugo. Yeah, you said Yugo. I paid about $150 for mine, M59/66 with the grenade launcher, the blonde stock, the cleaning kit, all the crap. And again, a wonderfully machined rifle. I took it back then and put the Tapco kit on it with the cut for the blade bayonet and the mags and everything. And it ran really good with those removable mags. And the system worked well. It was just such a long rifle, had the M4 adjustable stock and everything. And that Tapco kit works so well. But as soon as you get a couple of years older, you realize how good that wood looked. And I never throw away a part or sell a part or modify a rifle that I can't put it back just how it was. And I got a video of putting mine back and shooting them. And what a wonderful gun. I got a Russian SKS, Yugo, and a Chinese. The wood on my Russian is the Arctic birch, just friggin' dark blood red factory, beautiful. The Yugo is beautiful, and the Chinese is mint blonde stock, gorgeous. So much fun to shoot those because the actions are so heavy. They're actually short piston gun, unlike the AK. But that action is so heavy and long to operate that it feels like you're firing a manufacturing machine. It's like click, boom, ka-choom, 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 click, boom, ka-choom, ka-choom, ka-choom. You know, you can hear it, see it, and feel every stage of it, and it's just so cool. And they're pretty accurate guns. Great gun. Those are available, I think. What Classic has them, but you take a chance. Some are super beat. Some literally can come with cracked stocks and rusted to hell. Others are pretty nice. It's a batch that was sitting outside of China for X amount of years, so it can be imported. But they're really rough, a lot of them. But I've seen a couple nice ones, and they're fairly cheap if you wanted to grab one. It's not a bad way to go, but I might look for a Yugo. The Russians are running 600 to 800. The Yugos are running 400 to 600. Great gun. And those, mine was unissued mint. Back then was under $200. When you see stuff, guys, any military surplus, anything like that that comes in, and there's not going to be as much as there used to be, because just about every country now is running select fire weapons. So you don't see what you used to see, all the bolt actions, the semi-autos, the this, the that, but there's still stuff coming over, like the my Spanish sent me, that's a cool gun. When you see it, buy it. Don't put it off because it's going away. And the minute it goes away, the price shoots through the roof. And that's a constant always. They're the best investments I've ever made in my life. I've made 10 times the money I ever made in the stock market. Should something happen to me, my wife's got a nice nest egg there. They would have went to my son, but oh well. It's at least it's kind of like an insurance policy for her, So you'll always make money, but you gotta buy it. Buy something. Milsurps, or representations thereof, or guns made in military factories. Just buy them. You can't go wrong. You're never going to lose a dime. Don't him and haw. Oh, I shouldn't spend the money. You can always sell it. Always get your money back immediately with a profit usually. So don't worry about it. Do it. You only got one chance at it. Still have one Yugo SKS, Alan Bishop. Good. Yugo military rifle slaps in the cheek too. What Yugo military rifle? Oh, you're talking about the military wood on the M70s, the fixed stocks? Yeah, they can because they're a little bigger too, but nowhere like that canoe paddle that Century did. I had no pap with military wood and everything, and never bothered me, that one. M70B1, you got it. I know what you're talking about. Just picked up another Arsenal Sam 7R. I had to do it. So you picked up a fixed stock. Did you already have a fixed stock, or did you have a folder? I always figure if there's a folder and a fixed stock, I always get one of each. And at first, like on the Vepers, I liked my fixed stock better. I didn't like the folding stock as much, but now the folder has really grown on me. I love it. I love underfolders. On my SLRs, I love the side folder. On the what gun was I thinking of? On the SAMs, I like my side folder. It shoots better to me. I do like the fixed stock on that though too, but I tend to like side folders better than a fixed stock. And I'm a weirdo. I love underfolders. One I don't have, and I have to get my hands on. I want a Sam 7 underfolder. I gotta find one. They're not in production currently, and they went to the moon. They're between $200 and $2,500. There's two versions. There's the regular Sam 7 underfolder. The stock on that one goes straight back, and then there's one that Arsenal built, where it's called their Classic. It comes with the wood, and the underfolder stock is on a downward angle. I would take either, but I think the Sam 7 version would complete my collection, sort of. I'd have just about every one they ever made, and I'd like to find one new in the box, and they're just expensive right now. And I think I'd really, other than the Sam 44 pistol, I think the underfolder would end up being my favorite. I love my Yugo M70 underfolders. I love them. And I'd love to have an NPAP underfolder. I'd love to have a Wasser underfolder. I had a bunch of underfolders. I started, guys, my first AK was a M70 underfolder, Century M70 AB2. Great gun, and still have it. One of my favorites. Probably always will be my favorite because of sentimental value. My wife bought it for me. It was my first. And for a while, when I decided I was seriously going to collect AKs, here's what I was thinking. Well, I like it so much, I should have one for every member of the family. So I'm going to buy every M70 AB2 I come across. And I did. I started buying them. I think I got up to 5. One turned out to be an M70 AB2T, which is the 1mm stock, no bulge trunnions. I got anxious on an auction and just didn't notice it. And when it arrived, I went, oh, crap. And it said so in the auction. I just missed it. I was in a hurry. I saw it. And, oh, look, nice shape. Boom. Bought it. My dad's got that gun still. And, yeah, I had a ton of them. I bought one that was a complete train wreck on Gunbroker. It was painted up like the Texas flag. The stock was wrapped in twine, covered in masking tape. The mag was painted to look like a Texas flag. Paint was worn off it all. It just looked like a train wreck. But nobody was bidding on it, and I think I got it for under $200. This is about 5 years ago. And I figured, what the heck? And I picked the gun up, and my FFL looked at me. I think he actually said, he goes, "Are you insane? What did you buy that for?" I said, "Don't worry about it." I took it home, and my wife was at work, and I wanted to get it done and back to normal before she got home, because then it would look like my other one. She wouldn't know the difference that I had two, right? So into the garage I went with a bunch of citrus strip, and I disassembled the gun. I unwrapped the twine and the tape off the stock, and underneath it was some rust, and I went, oh crap. And but all in all, it looked pretty good. Took it all apart, dumped it all in the citrus strip, let it sit, or brushed the citrus strip on, put it in a Rubbermaid pan, and let it sit about 10 minutes, and then started wiping it off, brushing it off, came right off. It all just rolled off. He did it with Krylon or something. And then I rinsed it with the hose in the driveway, and it was perfect. There was no paint left on it. The little bit of rust was like some surface stuff that didn't even get into the parkerizing. And everything came out perfect. I wiped it down. I sprayed it all in. I put it in the pan, sprayed it, just gobbed on the ballistol, let it sit in that for about 15 minutes, rubbed it all in with my hands. I was covered in ballistol up to here, rubbed it all in, and then just started wiping down each part one by one, laid them all out on the bench, put it back together. And as I clicked the mag into it, my wife pulled in the driveway. She said, "Well, oh, we're messing with your gun?" I said, "Yeah, messing with my gun." And it's in a couple of my videos. It's the one with the green, OD green braided paracord on the stock when you see it. And it came out perfect. And I brought it by my FFL, and he says, "Oh man, you still got your original one, huh?" I said, "Nope." So what are you talking about? I said, "That's the one that came here the other day." He said, "The Texas flag?" I said, "That's it." He goes, "You're kidding me." I said, "Nope, $200. Boom, done." And I think after I had accumulated 5 of them, I thought, this is retarded. I'm going to buy a bunch of different AKs, And I sold those off, and I got, I don't know, 700-800 a piece for them, something like that. Looking back, I probably should have kept one more because I like them so much. But and I should have kept that one because it was a cool story. But yeah, you start going one direction. That's what started it back into the AK thing again. And God, I never thought it would have been so much fun and ended up as far as it has. But it's cool. Hugo guns are neat. So Courtney picked up another Sam 7R. Frontiersman, I got the ALG recoil spring, but I was also considering getting a K&S precision piston. Does anyone have any input? I have not run one, but I haven't found the need to run one. Why do you want one? Do you think it's overgassed? Newsflash. Sometimes I come off like I'm talking down to someone. I'm not. That's not what I meant by that. Just newsflash, most every AK is overgassed to some degree. That's why they run so well and why they're so reliable. Now, if the damn thing's kicking brass 50 feet, yeah, okay, maybe you got a problem. And a K&S might work for you. The only reason I would put one on is to adjust gas for running a gun suppressed. Other than that, don't bother. Not worth it. Just run it like it came. They run great. Your recoil spring will be fine on that. Let's see. I've had an idea to start rebuilding old AR mags. I see them cheap. Yeah, why not? You said ZVAR, but I assume it's KVAR. Raise the prices on the latest batch of SAM7 SFs. Of course they did. They never go down. They're only going up. Yay me. I'm happy. I'm happy they're going up. You should be too. Just buy them. They're going to continue to go up. So if they go up and you go, oh, look, they raised the price, all that means is you didn't act fast enough to get another one if you have one, or your first one if you don't have one. Don't get me wrong, guys. I wish I could still walk in and buy a Wasser for $299 and M70 for $499, $399, or a SLR 107 for $799. Yep, $799, or a Vepr for $1,100, or a Krebs rifle for $1,300. Yeah, incredible, right? I wish I could, but every one of those I bought is now worth the prices they're worth, and anything I buy now is worth at least that and more. And I don't see it dropping anytime soon. They will continue to hold their price, I promise you. Nobody's flooding the market, and they're going to go. The imports are going to go away. I do want to get my hands on a barrel. I want a Polish gun. I have no Polish guns. Don't know rifle or pistol, either one, I guess. I'd like to have both, but first one, I think I'd buy the rifle. I like that rail system or the dust cover. I will want to try one, so I'd probably get the rifle first. So I'm hoping to get my hands on one of them soon. Let's see. The chat is moving, and I'm having a hard time keeping up. Holy cow, you guys are commenting like crazy. Okay, raise the prices. Bought a ton of those Bulgarian AK mags, steel ones. The steel ones are good. No problem with Bulgarian steel mags at all. Buying them 10 at a time. That's how I used to buy the Serbian the Yugo bolt hold open mags. Some batches would be rough, others would be brand new, never inserted. They were always a couple bucks more, but big deal. 15 instead of 11, something like that. Was that a Circle 10 mag? This one? Why, yes, it is. And it just happens to be an OD green one that I checked Gunbroker today, and the cheapest one on there is $250 for it. There's a 40 rounder on there for $250 and a 30 rounder that was ending in an hour for $250. So yeah, think about it, guys. I used to try and make, let's say you bought and sold an AK or something. You try to make $100. Now I can make $100 on a mag. I could literally sell this right now and make $100. Bakelites I could make. Oh, Jesus. Crazy. Anyhow, sup, Rock? Guero. Hey, Guero. Good to see you, man. He hasn't been around in a long time. So, Hattori, you in Milwaukee? In Milwaukee or surrounding area? I like Milwaukee. I like Wisconsin. Wisconsin's awesome. Good people all over. Wonderful people. Alan Bishop, what price did you pay for your SLR 107 UR? They're going 1,500 maybe, I think. I saw one last day or two. Steel one's in the wrap. It's either a new motorcycle or the Black Arrow. Well, I don't know what kind of bikes you ride, but for the price of a Black Arrow, you're better off with the Black Arrow. The motorcycle is going to depreciate. For that kind of money, you'd be hard pressed to buy anything that says Harley Davidson on it that didn't need a ton of work. You can get yourself a nice motocross bike, but like I said, that'll depreciate, and you will be really happy you have that Black Arrow. What a nice gun. Nicholas T. I don't think those are imported anymore. I think he's talking about the M91, aren't you? The pseudo PSL Yugo gun. 50 cal bolt action. Oh, he's talking about something else. I thought you were talking about the Zastava, their version of a PSL, essentially. I'm sorry. Now you got me depressed. I got a Chinese SKS. Want to put a Tapco stock on it? No, don't do it. Don't do it. Mine's laying on my workbench. I looked at it yesterday. I put the wood back on. It's so much nicer. I don't know. It was cool. The gun ends up way too long in the Tapco unit. The mags do work well. Yeah, you can switch yours over to run mags if you want, AK mags. But why? Don't bother. Run strippers. Get good with strippers. Well, that came out wrong. Stripper clips. Let's see. I might be going to Serbia. Oh, boy. In February. Might look into checking out the Zastava factory. I'd be looking out to check out some other stuff, like how to get mags, or boy, it'd be cool. There's got to be so many old wartime stuff laying around there that might be cool collectible stuff. That's what I'd be looking at. See what you can find. That'd be neat. Let's see. Ever eat at Mater's while you're in Milwaukee? Isn't Mater's a Mater's? That's the bar sandwich shop. Oh no, it's not. That's another town. Is that the place with the Limburger cheese sandwiches, or is that a hot dog joint? I don't think it's a hot dog joint. Milwaukee doesn't know a good hot dog if it kicked them in the ass. SLR 107 is now 1,500. Yeah, crazy. So I doubled my money on it. I just looked up wheel nice. Those were originally marked at $7.99. That's what I paid for mine. My CZ Scorpion is my only side folder. God, I love my Scorpions. So cool. What color did you get in your CZ Scorpion? I got a tan one, a black one, and I really need an OD green one. If I came across one, and you can still get them in the 900 range. If I walked in and there was one there, I'd probably grab it. Just cool guns. And they're going to go away one day. Although CZ might produce them here now since they own Colt. They could set up a factory here and we get everything CZ. So I don't worry too much about CZ going away. But the imported guns will always be worth more. I can promise you that. They always are. Just like damn it, what's the gun I'm talking about? The FN Scar. The ones made over in Belgium are worth more than the ones made here. At least in my opinion, they are, I think. I think most people would agree. I need a Scar too. I was hot and heavy on that for a while and ended up never put one together. I was looking for a Belgian tan, new in the box, the FDE gun, and just never found one. I was a little late on it. I'd still like to have one. Glad I got 1,500 rounds of Swiss GP. Yes, sirree. Uh-oh, where'd my chat go? I got to do this real quick. It's going to screw me. Okay. Let me find, sorry guys, I'm just trying to get back in the right place in the chat here. So excuse my silence, please. Here we go. Sam 7 underfolder, new in box. Mr. Alan Bishop, you are my new best friend. Do you really? You wouldn't be looking to unload it, would you? Man. Yeah, I would love to have one. I love underfolders. It wouldn't stay new in the box, though. I'd shoot the crap out of it. It always looked like it was new in the box, though. Mine don't get banged around. Well, the boxes probably beat the hell. They all are. They're made out of like paper mache. They're junk. Cheapest box ever. You think they could spend $2 more on the damn box, right? Yeah, they fall apart on their own. Underfolders are so cool, but to shoot the full stock, they don't bother me. They just don't bother me. Even well, with the wrap I do on them, the paracord, they're really comfortable. They work well for me. Even without paracord, they don't bother me. I went nuts this year and got 3 Wasser side folders. I can't blame you. A Wasser side folder is a cool gun. I love the wire stocks. They're cool. They finally got popular again. People are liking them. Oh, wait. My GF3 has a Zukov stock. I need to sell that thing. I completely forgot I had it. Get a Galil Ace. Another nice gun. Man, Galil Ace. Think about this one. A Galil Ace pistol in 308. What a badass gun. Just imagine that thing concussing with a brake on it or something. Holy moly. We did a raffle to help one of the employees at Krebs Custom. And IWI donated a Galil Ace pistol in 308. And I kind of kept myself out of the contest because I thought, even though I bought tickets and stuff, I thought if I won this, it's going to look really hokey. I did a video to promote it and everything. And, but I wanted to shoot that gun so bad. That has to be incredible. But, gun, I think I'd probably have to get one 7.62 39. I don't know if I'd get a pistol or a rifle. Kind of like the rifle, actually. There's still so many. Just there's times I I buy a bunch of stuff and then I lay back for a while and I think I got everything. There's nothing I really want or need. And then I'm like, wait a minute. There's like, I can think of 5 or 6 right now off the top of my head I still need. I only have 4 AKs, 2 Arsenals, and a Zastava M70 and a Micro Draco. Good start, man. Courtney Williams. Courtney's here. Cool. Good to have you. I got a mini Draco. At the time, I was they were both on the wall, a micro and a mini, and I thought, which one? And when I did my research, it was hard to find. First of all, you couldn't even fit the smallest optic on a rail and handguard on that thing. And at the time, Manticore Arms made an alpha rail for the not the micro, for the mini. And I love that thing. I've got the alpha rail on it with a red dot and a SB tactical brace and a bunch of other goodies. And it's such a cool little gun. And it throws monster flash fireballs. I'd like to have a micro. I'd probably leave it alone. No, I wouldn't even dick with it. That's one gun I'd probably leave in the box. I don't know. Citrus spray makes old crappy finish bubble right off. Yes, it does. Home Depot citrus strip. Great stuff for stripping. If you like my NPAP that I did the camo job on, that gun, I just get the thick paste stuff and brush it on with a brush. Just don't brush back and forth. Lay it on thick, one stroke or dab, and just leave it on super thick and let it sit 10, 15 minutes. It'll literally slide right off. And a lot of guys think, oh, if I paint my gun, I'll never get it to look like it did when it was new. And I'll tell you, that's a bunch of crap, because my NPAP, you can't ever tell there was a speck of paint on it. And there were 4 or 5 layers of all the different camo colors on there. And when it wore, I went right over it and did a second one. And look at the videos. You'll see. You can't tell. Great stuff. Doesn't harm much. I wouldn't leave it on plastics too long. Wood, it's okay on. If you left it on a super long time, it could possibly permanently lighten some parkerizing, but the majority of that is due to it pulling the oil out of the parkerizing. Oil it up and it's right back to what it was. But I have seen it just lighten it a little bit if it was left on a long, long time. And make sure you rinse it with tons of fresh water. No big deal. And then just dry it good and oil it up. Let's see. I use recoil buffers on all my AKs. Really? Why? I've never bothered with them. Never saw the need. I don't really. Well, the only one that comes with it from the factory, sorta, is the Draco, the mini Draco. But that's simply so the piston doesn't go so far back that it comes out of the sight block and screws stuff up. And I haven't had to replace that one yet. There's some guys 3D printing those. I should get an extra one just to have on hand. Full-size Romanian Draco. I'd like a full-size one too, because that's such a cool gun to brace or SBR. Nice gun. Let's see. We'll work for guns. You're well on your way. Glad to see so many of you guys showing up tonight. A lot of guys I haven't seen in a while. I'm glad to have you on here. Courtney's in Alaska. Ellen Bishop. Sorry, I'm just going through because that's how I find what we're going to talk about here. Yeah, Serbian conflict's cool. Any opinion on plans to get a PSA Tula build? So, I guess the company most recently and most well known for doing builds is Atlantic Firearms, and they do some really nice stuff from battlefield pickup to just nice builds. And they're kind of in cahoots with Arms of America on that. And Andrew gets some serious nice kits over there. That's where I got my paratrooper RPK, the Two Rivers. I had Two Rivers build it, and they're building some of those guns right now, the Romanian RPKs. And the kits come from Andrew at Arms of America. They build nice stuff. I've heard a lot of hubbub about the Tula ones, and hey, it's cool to have a Tula built Tula kit, So I'm sure they'd put it together just fine. I mean, I wouldn't doubt that. The early beefs with them were never build quality; it was more or less component quality. So they certainly have enough experience in putting them together. So yeah, why not get one? Cool gun. Where the heck, it jumped on me again. I hate when this thing jumps. FDE sitting by my side right now with a can and 150 grain Syntec. Cool. I deployed to Bosnia in 97, 98. I'm going back next year for a vacation. Yeah, that was a hell of a time over there, wasn't it? That's you shake your head and you think, how could that happen at that late a date? What went on over there? But it does, man. It can happen in a blink of an eye anywhere. Mater's is the 100-year-old restaurant on Old World. No, I have not been there. I'm gonna have to go. Where did I go the other day? A place called Momo Mi, Asian joint that does these pot stickers they're famous for. Took my wife there for her anniversary. Good place. A lot of good food in Milwaukee. Paid $100 for that underfolder in 19. Wow. Could I ship mags from Serbia? No, I think you'd need a permit, but maybe ship to yourself, or I don't know. You'd have to do some research on that. I'm not going to give any advice on that one. But you could probably send parts as separate, I don't know. WBP Fox, best on the AK market, says Buddy. Well, it's a nice gun. I don't know if it's the best. It's not a true military gun in any sense. There's no country running them, but they do have a nice fit and finish, and they are a nice gun, and I wouldn't mind owning one. Let's see, you misspelled Zastava. I think I'd get a Fox AK before the SLR 107. Yeah, I don't know. That'd be a toss-up almost. Ammo goes under 300. Alan Bishop, Fox. All right, let me get cruising through this thing. Checking in from Vegas. We just had Red October. Good times come out next year. I would love to get out there. Pixel Face Killer. That's awesome. I didn't know that, but the barrels, trunnion, bolts should all be milspec. PSA has a few Russian steel mag options right now. God, Russian steel mags for 80 to 130. Boy, I'm getting old. Holy crap. Remember when they were $10? There were AK shell casings everywhere back then. They'd make you trip as you walk down on the street. Yeah, I'm sure. They'd roll under your boot. Yeah. You end up sliding down the street, right? Been there, done that. You take a step, you land on a bunch, and you're skating on one foot as they're rolling. That's funny. Guys, there's a lot of good stuff out there. And I'm so glad you guys are so excited about all of it. Everybody seems to have their favorites, and you guys are keeping abreast of the markets and everything. And frankly, I don't envy those that are just getting into it because it's hard to own. To me, it's like, well, I want some from this country, this country, this country, this country, this country. And back in the day, that wasn't a problem. It was like, okay, $200 gun, $300 gun, $500 gun. Say it's 1,500, $2,000, 2,500, $3,000. Um, it's would be hard to do. But hey, you do it little by little. You chip away at it, but get what you can while it's cheap. When they first come in, grab them. They're never getting any cheaper. They're only going to go up, and you're only going to kick yourself, or you miss out completely. Even when I was doing it, I put off buying Segas. I don't know why. Because there was other stuff I liked better. Imagine that, liking other stuff better than the original Russian. But back then, I could have bought SGLs for $600, $500, $400. And I didn't. I thought, I'll get one. No big deal. Even when they went to 1,000, I thought, yeah, but I got to get my hands on those Vepers. I'll get one. Don't worry. God, KVR still had new ones. I think you could buy. I think cheaper than the Vepers, maybe. And now I won't worry about it. Now look what they are. Can you even buy one for 2,500? I doubt it. I don't know, maybe. But crazy, absolutely crazy. And with a collection at this level, like I got to have them. So I'm gonna have to end up, coughing up the do-re me one of these days. I just never a fan of them. I love the Vepers, and I don't know. I think that comes from my first gun being a Bulge Trunnion Yugo. I just like them. So one of these days I'll have to grab some, or I'll find a deal. I keep saying, I'll find a deal. I'll find a deal. No. AKs have no mil spec, but the Fox are built for commercial market. Arsenal is true military. AK nice guns either way. Okay, so let me kind of clarify that a bit. So AKs have no mil spec. LOL. By that I take it you're sort of joking on it. They do have a mil spec, but yes, they can be all over the place, can't they? Now, while the Fox gun is a commercial gun, absolutely is, so are most of the arsenals. Every stamped arsenal is a commercial gun. The only true arsenal military guns are the milled guns. The SLR series, commercial. Nice gun, but commercial. Their flagship, their military gun is the SAM series. So I put them kind of on the same level, the SLRs and that. There's even been some talk that it's another country or another company over in Bulgaria building the stamped guns for Arsenal. And there's been differences in batches too. Some are good, some come in better than others. They had some issues with the SLR 106. It was kind of a flip the coin if yours will run or not. And it was mostly due to mag height. And to some extent, it could be taken care of depending on the mags you ran, whether you ran steel mags, Circle 10 polymer mags, the other Bulgarian mags, or random country steel surplus. On one mag, they could run perfectly fine. On the mag you really wanted to run in there, the thing wouldn't run at all. And others ran perfect all the time. But it usually was the mag height or the little spacer under the trigger, whatchamacallit, that made them run like crap. And you could get a gunsmith to fix it for not a lot of money. So if you wanted one, I'd say just buy one. But you got to, back then you had like a 50-50 chance of getting one that ran or one that didn't. And that was on the 5.56 guns. The 107s are nice. Hold on one second, guys. Uh-oh, where'd you go? Where did you go? Where did you go, Joe? There you are. I lost you. Pearl shipment that was due in October got moved to December because they had a military contract to fulfill. Awesome news. See? In the driveway and just yelled. My daughter's saying there's somebody outside the house. And I live, hold on, I don't know if it was the neighbor. I live out in the country, guys. Like pitch black, nobody around, one neighbor, but he doesn't ever come outside. Give me 1 second. Yeah, if somebody's outside making noise, it's a big deal out here. And she's digging me off the hook here. I don't know. Let's see what they say. I doubt it's anything. I don't know how anybody would find their way out here. But that's a scary thing out in the country. You know, there's nobody around. You are, if I called someone right now, depending where they're at in the county, they could be here. Most likely it'd be longer than 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. It's a large county and there's at night like 2 sheriffs on patrol. And we don't have a town police department and all of that. But you see, I'm not too worried about it. I'm concerned. I would go find out what's going on. But I'm not concerned with them making entry to the house. Never going to happen. And if they did, they'd get eaten alive first. Probably the pit would get there first. The mastiff would get there second. And yeah, I might not have to get off this couch. Let's see. So good to hear that barrel shipment coming in. I assume pistols and rifles. And I assume it's Arms of America bringing them in and then being sold through Atlantic. Believe it or not, I've never dealt with Atlantic all these years. But I wonder if you can buy them ahead of time. Just pay for them and wait for it to get there. Because I really want one. Those Polish laminate stocks are nice. They sure are. A fatty, nothing like a fatty Polish Bakelite grip with the Polish laminate. Really nice wood. Polish make a beautiful gun. Beautiful gun. Fit, finish, everything. Nice gun. But the Brill, I just like it because it's a little different. I like that the scope mount and all that good stuff. It'll just be neat. I hear they run really nice and smooth. Chad O'Cull, hello from Florida. Hey, Chad, thanks for stopping in. Go Braves. Yeah, it is that time, but I grew up a Cubs fan. I'll always be a Cubs fan. You know, real teams. Regardless of how they did this year. Let's see. Never got into 5.56 AKs. Didn't want to pay the extra money for the mags. Me neither. I didn't see the point, and it was almost like sacrilege to me, right? Until I just felt what was going on, and I thought, yeah, one day if Steelcase ever went away, it sure would be nice to have one with ammo that was available everywhere. And I got an email one day from Kavar with a special price on the Sam 5. And I thought, yeah, I should have one of those. And I grabbed one. And don't you know, a month or two later, there came the ammo ban. So I guess that was good. Good night, Joe. Have a good night. I had no guns. It's never too late. No, it's not. Yeah, best $25 AK grip out there. I remember when you could buy a box, and I mean a box of Bakelite grips, Romanian, whatever, for $25. Guy, you couldn't give them away. Like guys would be selling 10 for $5, you know. It was like Dawn grips. You guys would give them to you, boxes of them. You could get 5 dongs for $10, you know. Hey, how'd you like a dong for $10? Hey, I'll give you my dong for $10. Shit. Can't order ahead of time. The pistols are in stock. That's right. I saw that today. Really want the rifle though, but by the time the rifle gets here, we'll see. I will have to do some checking this week. Sam 5 smooth operator. It is. It is. Opinion on the Gen 2 Galil Ace switch by 39. Which by 39 is best? The Galil Ace is a quality rifle. I don't really consider it an AK. Yeah, there's similarities. I consider it a Galil, and Galil is a cool ass gun. Which by 39? God, I can't choose. I mean, I got this series going on. I've been dragging on it out because I can't even decide what is my next one favorite I should do a video on. Vepers, Yugo, anything Zastava. If you're talking the upper end stuff, I like SLRs for what they are. If you want to spend a little bit of money, get a Wasser, nice gun. There's so many good ones. It's hard to go wrong today. It really is. The only way you could go wrong is with a Vishka, with a sentry gun, or one of those guns they're advertising as Wassers that aren't put together by Cougar. I'd stay away. I would stay away. There's a lot of good American-made guns out there. But for now, while imports are available, spend your money on imports. Don't bother with a U.S. gun right now until you have to. Those will be around. Imports won't. Yeah, I know mini barrel pistols are in stock. Yeah, I saw them today. 100% worth it. Yeah. How much would you pay for ZPAP underfolder or an M72 version? So I'm really hoping that Zastava comes out with an underfolder. I wouldn't pay any more or less than the fixed stock. And frankly, when the ZPAP was $7.99 or $8.99, that's the right price on that gun. And they went up to people were gouging up to $1,500 for one. I don't think any of these guns are worth $1,200, $1,500. Maybe the milled ones, maybe a Vepper, stuff like that. But a fixed stock ZPAP or an underfolder, the right price on that gun is $7.99, $8.99. Be happy to pay it all day long. Would love to see it come out at that. Whether or not dealers sell them at that, that's another thing, depending what goes on with the market. But I think things are pretty saturated right now. So I think you'll start to see maybe a little drop as things get backed up a bit. Just depends how calm things stay and what happens in the next cycle. But yeah, Galil Ace up there in the money, probably worth the money. But a stamped gun of any breed, other than like a collectible SGL or something, In this market, I think $7.99, $8.99 is the money, and maybe a wasser in at $6.99, $5.99. God forgive me. I never thought I'd say such things. Ace would be my third AK-ish firearm. Just keep buying, man. You can't go wrong. Whatever you walk in one day and it's on the wall at your local favorite place, and the price is what it is, and you got the money in your pocket, pick it up. Can't go wrong. And you can always sell it if you don't like it, get something else, make a little money, whatever. That's what it's about, having fun, trying stuff out. Buying a new unboxed Chinese SKS off a buddy tomorrow, 300. That's a steal. That's a steal. 500 is a good price on a Chinese, a nice one. Is it an older one that came in the 90s or 80s? If it is and it's in real good shape, that's a steal. Look at the bore, however, because those guns that came in the 80s, even 90s, I guess, most of what was around back then was corrosive ammo, and a lot of guys just let them sit, and the bores got all crappy on them. So make sure you check that out before you buy it. What brace would you use for Sam 7K with the 1913 butt plate? The one I use on mine. Look at the video. That 1913 butt plate comes off. Get rid of it. Why have a third piece in between? Why have another place to get loose? That plate and the whole little thing, one bolt goes through the back of the trunnion. You unbolt it from the inside, one nut. It comes off, and get yourself a CNC Warrior tubular side folder like I have. Great, solid as a rock stock brace. That's what I would do. That's what I did. Gen 1 if you can. Let's see. I bought a Sam 5 for $14.99 a year ago. They're $18.50 now. Listen to the rock. That's what I did. I got the message too straight from KVAR, $14.99. And at one point, before the latest batch came in, within 1 week, I could have offed that thing for $2,500. People were buying them like nuts at $2,500 when they thought that was the only batch was going to be here. Now, we all knew KVAR had a warehouse full that they had lost. They found in a corner. They found them next to the urinals in the men's bathroom, a whole pallet full. AUGs are that price. AUG would be cool. I'd like to have an AUG. Apples versus oranges, I know. Yeah, but it's still a cool gun. It's one of those things that'll go away. I sold it to him. I hear you on that Gen 1 Ace. Yes, I also did the CNC Warrior brace on my Sam 7. Heard it from Rock, and I love it. Yeah, that gun came out so cool. It's just the coolest original how it should look AK on the planet. Really neat. I love that pistol. Poll question: what was the first model AK y'all bought? My first one was an M70 AB2 Century gun. Not made by Century. They subbed it out, thank God. But I still got it. Awesome gun. God, there was so much cool stuff back then. But frankly, there's more stuff now. There's more stuff on the market now. That's what's amazing. There wasn't there were Chinese guns and every model of Wasser, Romanian put together with every stock conglomeration you could find. Get yourself at a RPK too. Don't forget the AES-10Bs, PSL, a lot of cool stuff. I had to bite the bullet by a Sam 7 SF94 for a collection. No regrets. That's what this goes to. My Sam 7 side folder. I got it all in the OD. Love that gun. Gonna shoot it tomorrow. First AK M70 about a year ago. Good choice, my man. I heard not to suppress AK. Is that true? Who in the hell told you that? Bring him in here so we can just beat him to death with Circle 10 mags. Why? Why would he say that? Don't suppress an AK. Now we got us a jackass, boys. No, I'm just teasing. No reason you can't suppress an AK. Get yourself a what is it, Wolverine or the one that vents toward the front. Looks like the original AK suppressors too. That's a great suppressor. Not a lot of money. They suppress great. Can it cause them to be even more overgassed? Sure. I guess change out the spring, put an adjustable piston on maybe, but just about any of them will run just fine with it. Have an AS-10B, shot it once. Why only once? I haven't had mine out in a long time either. God, it's time to really get these things out and just. I feel like I'm being redundant in the videos, but you see one video, you watch it, and you're done. So it's always cool to see another one, I guess. Different day, different scene, doing something else, shooting something else, different distance. I'm going to have to break it out. Laminated RPK stock. My AS-10B stock, when I redid it with the laminate, is stunning gorgeous. There's a video on me redoing it. It came out just beautiful. Who said FUD? Who are you talking about, Chad? When you said FUD? That's funny. FUD. K&S piston. Yeah, only if it's overgassed. It's not as handy. No, that's a gun for covering fire, and that's a cool gun. Go to the range, lay down in the grass, put it on the bipod, and have a good time. So much fun. You have never experienced life until you've fired a Select Fire 545 RPK. Oh my God, that gun was sent from heaven. I kid you not. In 545, that thing just runs, and it's just, he could hold it with 3 fingers. Talk about a cool gun. And that's probably one I'm going to have to lay down one of these days. I'm going to have to go, I don't know, 3-4 months not buying nothing and get myself a RPK, a Vepr RPK mallet. I think I will do it in 7.62 because I don't want to deal with 5.45. I'd like to have the 5.45, and if Steelcase was still coming in, I'd do it. But I'm gonna bite the bullet on one of those. And yeah. And then you go RPK, and I'm all good. But the 94E is with the new top rail system. That's awesome. 94E, refresh my memory. What gun are you talking about? Where's Tommy's last comment? Let's see. I had 94E. What the hell is 94E? Anything full auto in your collection? No, sir, unfortunately. I believe they should all be legal, but unfortunately, no. When we eventually do our FFL, we're going to do an SOT as well. And then, yeah, we'll have some fun. I don't need to own anything like that. I don't. Yeah, they're cool, but once you do it a few times, it's no big deal. And I've got access through FFL friends of mine like Mark Krebs. Anytime I want to shoot something like that, I just say, hey, Mark, come on out to the club. Let's go shooting. And all kinds of cool stuff comes with. So, yeah, there's that. FUD equals someone said to not suppress an AK. Okay. Yeah, whoever said that, don't listen to that guy. Whoever told you that. For you guys that like red dots on AKs, I recommend the Kalinka Optics PK. Okay. Never tried one. Sam7 SF90. Oh, 94E. What was the 94E though? What was that accurized one or the suppressor ready one or something like that? I don't know. Or was that just the model number in the side folder? I don't know. Absolute Co-Witness red dot used AKM scope rails. I like Primary Arms red dots. Inexpensive, work great. Holosun, same thing. Yeah, I love Holosun 510Cs. Awesome. Just run the FRT trigger. There you go. I think he's talking about the Arsenal Sam7. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, man, a lot of good stuff out there. It's on the Arsenal K-Bar website. There, Guns and Gear, his video. In this. Oh, yeah. The handguard difference to this, to that. K-Bar is so good at taking a pre-existing gun and coming up with some marketing thing and saying, oh, all new gun, gotta have it. Well, I already got 3 of them. It's got a different handguard and they changed the screw on the grip. Gotta have it. I'm over those days. Not a big deal. Anyhow, guys, what time do we got here? Time's been flying, I bet. What is it? 11 o'clock, 8:20, 9:20, 10, 20, 2.5 hours. My God. That's a long enough chat for anybody, don't you think? I think so. I don't know. It's been fun just talking, going through the chat with you guys. It's awesome. I hope you liked the reloading info about what I'm doing with making AK bullets that work well and are more accurate. And we're going to refine it and we're going to bring you our results on these. And yeah, cool way to go. So I can't wait to mess with these tomorrow. Matter of fact, I'm going to go outside and do a few more, go out to the shop and do a few more maybe for tomorrow and see how they run. If you guys missed the part on the reloading, just check out this video when it posts. We were talking about it at the beginning. And check it out and check out the video I'll have out in about an hour or so. We talk about the direction we're going. We don't show the reloading, but we're talking about what we're doing. If you guys are interested in reloading videos, let me know and we'll do some. We'll kind of show you our setup and what we do. And we'll go from there. Any questions you guys have, save them for next week. Come up with some stuff. Happy to go through it. Pick a couple points out of there and use it for conversation and topics and go from there. Hey, one thing we didn't talk about was our buddy Mr. Baldwin. Not getting into it now. Not even going to start, but wow, couldn't happen to a nicer guy, huh? Karma is a bitch. Sam5 with the out barrel. Yeah. All right, K-Bar changes the color and it's a new, yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for stopping in. It was a good crowd tonight. Love to see you guys participating in it. And any ideas on videos, shoot them in here real quick before I shut down the chat. And I'll see what I can do for you. Other than that, thanks. We'll see you next Tuesday and watch for the videos coming out this week. Please share some of the videos on your Facebook, on whatever. Help grow the channel. It is greatly appreciated. And hey, love you guys participating. We're going to have a bunch of good stuff coming out here this week. So keep an eye out. And I need to get to the range. So I'm going to try and get the lawn mowed in the morning early and get my butt over there. It's freezing down here right now. I'll turn the heat on. Anyhow, yeah, go see if I got somebody prowling around outside here, and we'll go from there. Till then, guys, stay safe, stay armed, keep learning, keep buying, and you'll be happy you did one day. You will. I promise you that. Thanks for everything. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. How many likes we got? 17. If you didn't like, kick a like in there real quick, and we'd appreciate it. We got super chats going. If you guys want to donate to the channel, it's greatly appreciated. Other than that, have a great night, guys. And as always, Rockford Ordnance out.